Time for a bit more cooking, and I've labelled this one, make my weight loss breakfast with me. But to be honest with you, you could have this as breakfast or a nice afternoon snack. Well, a snack anytime, to be honest with you. What we're going to make, we are making a banana and peanut butter protein flapjack. Okay, first thing you need to do is get your oven on, 180 fan, 200 if it's not a fan oven. If you've got a gas oven, I have absolutely no idea. And next thing you're going to need are 2 extremely ripe bananas. The riper, the better. The browner, the better. And you're just going to peel these and whack them into a bowl. The riper the banana, the sweeter the banana. And yeah, we've got a good brown bit there. That is actually what we want. If you try and make this with unripened bananas, if they've got a bit of green on them or they're extremely yellow, it will not give you the sweetness. You could counterbalance that, I suppose, by adding a bit more honey or something else, but anyway, ripe bananas is what we want. Now you could do this in a food processor, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. First of all, bananas, yeah, just a mixing bowl and mush those bananas. And if they are nice and ripe, these bananas are nice and ripe, they should not take much mushing whatsoever. Okay, there we go. Now it's time for the scales. This is literally, honestly, just a few ingredients, and it is so tasty. Oats. Jumbo Oats is what I have gone for. And we're going to go in with about 250. So 2 decent-sized ripe bananas, and you're going to go in with about 250 lots of oats. There we go. Right, next thing is the old honey, and we're going to whack about 50 grams of honey in there, maybe a little bit more. Beautiful. And last but by no means least, to give this a protein kick, we're going to go in with a bit of protein powder. Now, you use whatever flavour you want. I'm going in with a bit of white choc, actually. Vanilla works really, really well in something like this because it's quite a neutral flavour. Sorry, I'm trying to work out the maths. I was on 305 grams when I went in with the protein powder. So that means I've had 25 grams in, and I'm just going to put about 50 grams in there. What are we on there? That's 45. Bit more. There we go. 55 grams. You don't need to be stupidly exact. Yeah. You don't need to be stupidly exact. A rough number will do. Right. Something else I'm actually going to add in. This is totally optional, but I always like a little dribble of vanilla essence. There we go. And I also like a pinch of salt. Right, sorted. Okay, now we want to give this a really good mix. And it might seem like there's loads of dry ingredients here. And if it is a little bit dry, you know, you might have slightly smaller bananas, add a little bit of milk. A little bit of milk. Anyway, let's get the banana from the bottom. Trust me, it all will come together at some point. Obviously, if you're making this and you are lactose intolerant, then you might go in with a bit of almond milk. This protein powder I'm using from Perform, it's not an isolate protein powder. It is a concentrate, but it's still very, very low in lactose. So that shouldn't cause you any issues. Shouldn't cause you any issues if you are lactose intolerant. But obviously, you can get a plant-based protein powder or use a whey isolate, and that'll have no lactose in it. Look at me, getting in with all the allergies. Disclaimer, if you eat any of my recipes and you have allergies, I'm not responsible. There we go. Okay, so we're giving this a good mix. And like I say, it does seem at the beginning like there's loads of dry ingredients to wet ingredients. but it's not. As you can see there, it is forming into, you know, and you don't want it too runny. You don't want it too runny. You want it to just kind of make, yeah, a nice kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit like wallpaper paste, to be honest with you. Do people still wallpaper? I have no idea. Anyway, and make sure you do give this a really thorough mix, because you kind of want to make sure all those oats are really combined. You can actually leave this to stand as well. I'm not going to today. I'm just going to whack it straight in the oven. But if you want like the oats to kind of soak up a bit more of the moisture from the bananas and stuff, you can leave it to stand for a little bit. Like I say, I'm not going to bother with that. I ain't got time for that. Okay. Oh, this is a right workout. I say, if you want to use a food processor, you can do. Or even maybe a blender. You might be able to do it in a blender. But anyway, I'm just going in with a bit of the old elbow grease. Like I say, it's a pretty thick mixture. Right. I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with that. That's a good texture. There we go. If you want to try it, you can eat it. You don't need to bake it. You can eat it before you bake it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right, now we need to get it in the oven. So, I've got 2 containers here. That one's too big. I was thinking of putting it in there and then you can cut it into nice squares. That one's too big. I'm going to use that one for this amount of mixture. I'm going to grease it. You don't really need to with these. It should just pop out. But I am going to grease it a little bit. Just a little bit of olive oil. Just one spray. 20 calories. Get your hands in there. Give it a good rub around. That'll definitely make it pop out nice and easy. So we want to fill up our case. And try and make it as even as possible. That makes sense. When you push it down, you know, try not to have a really thick bit and a really thin bit. Just for continuity of cooking, as it were. This is really sticky. Let me get my other spoon out here. Now, like I say, there's nothing in here that needs cooking. So the longer you cook it, the drier it's going to be at the end. I really like it where it's quite moist, like almost kind of raw in the middle, as it were. Rachel's not a fan of it like that. So we compromise and cook it the way Rachel wants it. So there we go. Right, we've still got a bit more mixture in here. This badger is going to go in the oven 12 to 13 minutes for me. Like I say, you could just do it for 10 and it'll be really gooey in the middle. If you want it really firm, you could probably do it for 15 minutes. But 12 to 30 minutes is kind of the sweet spot for me. So let's get it in the oven and I'll see you shortly. And here we go, straight out of the oven. Right, now we need to turn this onto a plate and then we're going to top it with some peanut butter. I don't know why I've got a knife. You don't even need it with these things. Right. Oh, use a tea towel. I have got quite asbestos fingers, but this thing is hot. All right, tea towel going in. Okay, there we go. All right, sorted. Now we need, I'm positive I've done this backwards. Anyway, I'm going to use my fingers for that one and spin it over. And there we go. So yes, we're going to top it with a bit of peanut butter, 40 grams of peanut butter to be exact. I'm going to top it with the best peanut butter there is. Yes, Skippy. So basically, take your jar of Skippy, whip the lid off, stick it in the microwave for about 40 seconds to a minute. Right, while the peanut butter's in the microwave, we will get set up to make sure we're not putting too much on. So set of scales, Take a mug, not me. Take your plate. There you go. Now, why have I put the plate on a mug? Because if I put the plate on the scales, can't see the scales. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing. Right, let's zero that. And we'll just wait for the peanut butter to ping, and then we're going to get our drizzle on. Okay, we've got beautiful melted peanut butter. No, I've not dipped a spoon in and then stuck it in my mouth, honestly. If you believe that, you believe anything. So we're going to pour. We're going to try and pour a little bit artistically, but we're aiming for about 40 grams. A nice even spread. 40 grams of peanut butter on top of the flapjack. I said I was going to try and do it artistically. Right. We're not even halfway yet. You'd be amazed where 40 grams goes when you melt this stuff. Okay, let's get some over there, some here in the middle. We're at 30 grams, 35. Couple of splodges. Boom. There we go. 40 grams of peanut butter. Nope, I didn't do that either. And there we have it, a banana and peanut butter protein flapjack. Slice it into 8. And it will be 208 calories per slice for 10 grams of protein and 3 grams of fibre. You can top it, to be honest with you, with whatever you want. If you want to do a bit of melted Nutella or a bit of melted Biscoff, I have done that in the past and it is absolutely delicious. Like I say, use whatever protein powder you want to as well. And yeah, quick, tasty breakfast option. To be honest with you, it's not far off for dessert. Nice blob of vanilla ice cream would be very nice. Mid-afternoon snack, evening snack. Eat it whenever the hell you want. Just make it and eat it because it is absolutely delicious.